Welcome, everybody. We are going to talk about a few properties of waves today, starting with intensity. And you've already answered this question over in the Get Ready activity, which asked you what wave property is related to how loud the wave is. And there's a few different answers that might jump out here. And it turns out that it is the amplitude of the wave that is related to loudness. One way to think about that is in a sound wave, you've got all these individual air molecules that are moving back and forth like this as I speak, for example. You could imagine them moving a little bit like this and pushing forward the wave, or they could be moving a lot like that. And the louder the sound is, the more distance the individual air molecules are covering as they move, as they propagate the wave. So amplitude is the property that we want here. In particular, we're going to define a property called intensity, which is defined as the power per unit area, or the energy per unit area per unit time. And the intensity is a good quantity to define because it is directly proportional to the square of the wave's amplitude. And so a way to think about intensity here is it's energy per unit area, right? So you think about if I'm talking through a circle like this one, there's a certain amount of energy that is passing through that circle, which I can define as some area every second, right? And that's how I get the intensity, is I measure how much energy is going through that circle divided by how much area does it have, divided by how long did I sit there. So that's the intensity. One thing that's really valuable about intensity is that for spherical waves, which are the common waves you would talk about intensity for, and examples of that would be sound waves and light waves because they spread out in all three dimensions. And the amplitude of a spherical wave will always decrease as that wave spreads outward, basically because as the wave gets outward, it's covering a bigger and bigger area. And so all of that energy has to get spread out over the surface area that the wave is covering. Which means that if you know what the radius of your sphere is, your distance away from the source of the sound or the light, you can figure out the intensity by taking the power that the wave produces and dividing it by that total area. That is how intensity works. I'm going to give you a little practice question to work on in the Get Ready activity, which is your friend measures the intensity of a sound wave to be some number I, and you are standing twice as far away from the source of that wave as your friend. And I want you to think about what you would measure the intensity of that wave.